The Royal Romance, Chapter 4, Save the Last. It's the night of the masquerade at the palace. You walk over to the prince to claim the last dance of the evening, and you find him talking to Lady Penelope as you approach. And that's how my family acquired the 5th golden poodle statue. I can relate. Don't get me started on the Queen's antique goblet collection. Excuse me, may I cut in? If you must. I must. Penelope reluctantly walked away as the prince turns to you. You handled yourself very well. I try. You do more than that. Honestly, you seem as comfortable here as you did back in New York. I think the reason why she's already so comfortable is because she feels like she knows the real prince. You met him under circumstances where he wasn't in his princely role, so she got to see inside his heart. Shall we dance? The orchestra plays a dreamy waltz as Prince Aiden takes your hand. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know the step. Just follow my lead. With Aiden's strong arms around you, you easily match his movement. You're an amazing dancer. My parents would be thrilled to hear all those years of dance lessons paid off. I'm very glad that I got a moment alone with you, Araya. Well, relatively alone. There's about 100 people watching us right now. Unfortunately, it's about as much privacy as we might expect, though I do have a few tricks up my sleeve. He guides you across the ballroom floor and waltzes the two of you out a set of French doors to an unoccupied balcony. We can get a little more privacy out here at least. Nice move. I try. Now I want to know, how are you? I trust you're being well taken care of here. Maxwell's been very sweet so far. He flew me out here and set me up with a room and everything. I haven't met his brother yet. The Duke. He's different from Maxwell. More serious, but their house has an excellent reputation, mostly due to him. I see. What about Cordonia? What do you think of my home so far? Cordonia? I love it. Really, it's beautiful. I love the architecture, the elegant event, the music. It's like something out of a fairy tale. I hoped that you would love it. Love Cordonia as much as I do. I'd be rather unfortunate for a queen to dislike her kingdom. Oh, right. Guess that's a pretty important quality in queen to be, especially given Cordonia's history. What do you mean? The last few decades have been somewhat rocky for us. The first queen abandoned my father and my older half-brother. It's not clear on the exact details, but do you know why she left? At least she couldn't handle the pressures of courtly life. She comes from a lesser noble family, so she hadn't been long at court before the marriage. And my own mother passed away when I was a child. You lost your mother? I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. And so the current queen, she may not be my mother, but she is a wonderful woman who's done her best to lead Cordonia alongside my father. Instability in the monarchy is always dangerous for a small kingdom like ours. Weakens currency, a rise in crime, a drop in tourism, all because of the lives of the ruler. Being royal sounds like a lot of pressure. So that's why you care so much about finding the right queen. Exactly. I can't just follow my heart as much as I might want to. There's too many other people I need to think about. Sorry, I didn't mean to burden you with this. Aiden, you can tell me anything. I'm here for you. You've got a lot resting on your shoulders. True, but I can at least take a moment to sprinkle in a tale of my misspent youth. I wouldn't mind hearing one of those either. One summer, I was only 8. My father decided to throw me into the rigor of governing. He made me sit through hours of meetings for 3 weeks straight. Finally, I couldn't take another minute. I decided to liberate myself. Wait, you played hooky? Yeah, Drake and I stole a monster supply of chocolate from the kitchen and we hid out in the garden. We spent the evening making up games and playing in the garden maze. Our best one was maze tag. You can see the entrance to the maze over there by the hedges. Maze tag, let me guess. You played tag in the maze. You've got it. Not our most clever name game, but whoever was it had to run after the other person in the maze. You lost if you were it. By the time the other person got to the center. We played for hours until we nearly collapsed from exhaustion, but we were too stubborn to go back. We used the last of our strength to climb up the tree in the center of the hedge maze and vowed to live out there. We fell asleep in that tree and I only woke up when I fell off the branch and landed flat on my back, swearing up a storm. I hope this doesn't destroy your image of me as a proper prince. What surprises me the most is that you know any swear word. You're always so proper, maybe in front of you. Well, I want to meet the Aiden who played hooky and slept in trees. I miss those carefree summers, but I'm afraid those days are behind me. On the next level of the waltz, Aiden guides you through the doors to the ballroom. Inside, Aiden pulls you close, so you're swaying together as gradually the music begins to wind down. The song is coming to an end, and the masquerade with it. We'll have to say goodnight soon. Is this how it's going to be for the next few months? Stealing a couple of minutes here and there. As I said, things are different here. I should spend some time with the other girls to be fair to them, but believe me when I say I wish this night didn't have to end. Who says it has to? The last time you got that gleam in your eye, we ended up on a boat to the Statue of Liberty. Do you regret it? Never. What are you proposing? Would you like to meet me at the garden maze? Yes, but my bodyguards would never allow me to go out there alone. You wouldn't be alone. I'll be there. They probably like that even less. We shouldn't. Then why are you smiling? Because the prince has a little bit of a rebellious streak and all he wants is a little bit of freedom, even though he knows he has a duty to his country. But at the end of the day, he's human and has his own free will. Because we both know how much I want to. In that case, I'll be out there in 20 minutes. I hope I won't be alone. Araya? Yes. The waltz comes to an end and everyone in the ballroom applauds. Before you walk away, Aiden spins you close, his head bent toward yours. I'll see you in 20. 20 minutes later, Aiden joins you outside, cutting it a little close there. I was trapped in a conversation about table seatings for tomorrow's picnic, but I managed to tear myself away for you, shall we? You take his arm and head towards the gardens together. It's really beautiful here at night. I wish I could take credit, but the gardens out there were my mother's vision. I think it was her last wish before, well, sometimes when I stroll this garden at night, I think of her. He looks up at the stars. I'm sure she appreciates that. Thanks. The garden holds a lot of good memories as well. This is where you and Drake played maze tag growing up, right? Yeah, you probably think it's silly, don't you? Sounds like fun. In fact, tag, you're it, Aiden. You clap him on the shoulder and start running off. You hear a laugh as Aiden starts to run after you. Cheater. Despite your head start, he comes close to catching up with you. Up ahead, you can see the maze entrance and the wet grass shortcut straight to it. I should take the shortcut. You take the shortcut, picking up speed, and you manage to stay ahead of him. Ha! You weave through the maze just ahead of him. Aiden said there were trees at the center. You navigate the maze, twist and turns, heading for the top of the large trees you see in the distance until you round the last corner. Before you lies a straight path to the center of the maze where a swing sways prettily from a large tree. Whoa! You can hear Aiden's footsteps behind you. Run to the center. You run towards the center. I'm going to win. It's not over until it's over. He dives forward to tag you, but his momentum knocked the two of you off balance. Whoa! You both topple over, laughing as you roll together before coming to a stop near the swing. You made it the center of the maze, and I do believe I win. How do you figure that? Easy. I'm on top. I find it hard to argue with that. Then don't. He laughs, then his face turns serious as he gazes up at you. Something about you. It just feels right to be around you. Aiden, I feel the same way. Araya. He reaches up to cup your cheeks, his fingers warm against your skin. I should kiss him. You lean down, your lips captures his hands curve around you as he brings you close. And then he shakes himself and pulls away. We shouldn't. I don't know what will happen. And I know. What is it about you, Araya? When you're around, you make me want to break all the rules. Maybe you need something. Maybe you need someone like me in your life. Maybe I do. That was unexpected, but somehow perfect. You laughed more in this maze than you did all night in that masquerade. I guess I really need this. Thank you. No problem. I had fun too. Will I see you soon? Yes. Tomorrow. It will be very busy, but I'll find the time. I look forward to it. Aiden lifts your hands to kiss it. Until then, back in your room, about to prepare for bed when there's a knock at your door. You answer it. Maxwell, hey. I know it's late, but there's someone you should meet. Bertrand, this is the one I was telling you about. Araya. Maxwell steps aside to let in an imposing man with a stern expression. This is the girl you've chosen to represent our house? Yep, nailed it, right? Araya, this is my older brother, Bertrand. It's nice to meet you, Bertrand. The proper way to address a duke is your grace. Oh, I'm sorry, your grace. At least you look like you can be trained. Okay, Bertrand, I understand that he's a duke and he wants to be addressed properly, but Maxwell also has to take some accountability. He knows how much Bertrand is a stickler for the rules and how much the royal family is going to want to follow proper protocol, and I don't think Maxwell did a good enough job preparing Araya for these introductions into royal or court life. I understand that Maxwell knows that Aiden likes Araya for who she is, and he doesn't want to take that away from her, his job, and prepare her for courtly life. Hey, I'm not your pet. He didn't mean it like that. Maxwell, a word with you in private. Bertrand grabs Maxwell's arm and hauls him out of your room. He slams the door behind him, but you can faintly hear their voices through it. It sounds like they're talking about me. I should listen at the door. You press your ear to the door. That's the girl you picked to represent our family? Yeah, that's Araya. Aiden really hit it off with her when we met her at the restaurant for his bachelor party. She was our waitress. A waitress? You brought a waitress? Okay, now Bertrand just being dramatic. People can learn things all the time. It doesn't matter your background, especially when it comes to love. If they're already have a connection and they're falling for each other, she can learn how to be royal. So Bertrand just cares about status and not really people, in my opinion. Sometimes he wants to keep his royal standing instead of worrying about Aiden finding the right person for him, and sometimes that might not be somebody that grew up royal. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. We could have had our own pick of any unsponsored duchess or countess in the half of Europe. Well, sure, but like I said, she and Aiden have a lot of, chemistry. I think he really I know you probably don't care, but she could make him really happy. Like, I've never seen him so happy. Kind of happy. Shouldn't Aiden have a shot at love like that, even if he's the prince? Spare me your sentimentality. You better hope that this waitress doesn't ruin everything. See, he should be caring about Aiden's feelings, not who's royal, who's not. You can't help who you fall in love with. The door thrown open nearly smacks you in the face. Oh, you were listening to everything, weren't you? Listening in. Yeah, I don't like what I've heard. Perfect. A waitress with no manners. Well, Bertrand gotta realize you was talking about the girl behind her back. If you really had a problem with it, you should have just told her to her face, and then y'all wouldn't be mad with each other right now. Look, you're the one who invited me here. If you're so unhappy with me, just get another girl. No, you can't do that. We already said you were our pick. So, if you go, we've got no one. Maxwell is unfortunately correct. We're stuck with you. Perhaps Maxwell didn't fully explain this to you, but if our house puts forth the prince's choice, we'll win fame and recognition. Something we could really use right now, actually, cause we're kinda broke. Maxwell, you overstepped. Sorry, you're broke. There's no shame in being broke. I've been broke plenty of time. Thanks, Araya. It's entirely different for us. Do you get money if I marry the prince? Not directly, but we can leverage the prestige to great effect. It would be best to get that leverage before others find out our situation. In the circle we run in, if word got out of our financial ruin, it would be a scandal. But our name is still worth something in Cordonia. At the very least, we can introduce you to the right people and get you invitations to the right event. I only regret that I can't offer you more. Speaking of which, have you prepared for tomorrow's event? That's the derby. You know what a derby is, right? A derby is a fancy horse race. Very good. It's your first opportunity to make an impression on the press. They'll be covering the event. They don't get a lot of opportunities to see the royals, so they'll jump at the chance. Oh, I assume we're important then. Yes, very. Everyone in Cordonia will be influenced by what they write about. We're a monarchy, but we serve the people. You'll need their approval if you're going to become queen. Speaking of which, you should consider your attire for tomorrow. Queen will be present at the derby, and the right outfit will go a long way to earning her favor. I recommend going for a derby look that's modern to impress the queen. I'll keep that in mind. I've made an appointment for you in the morning at the boutique already. We'll speak more tomorrow right before we head out for the derby. Good night. The next morning you enter the dress boutique and find Olivia putting on her outfit for the derby. Oh, I'm surprised to see you here. I thought you'd have gone home by now. Surely you realize that you don't have a chance at winning. Olivia, surely you've realized you don't need to hurt other people to protect yourself. Huh? It's okay. You don't have to say anything. Look, I know you're set up to be rivals, but that doesn't mean we have to dislike each other. But Aiden, whatever else is going on, we don't have to hurt each other. I know what kind of game you're playing, Araya, but you're not going to fool me. Olivia turns away coolly and strides towards the door, but then paused. Look, I know you're probably going to embarrass us all with your lack of fashion later, but try to avoid doing that. You've probably never been to a derby, but you really must look the part. A runway where the ensemble is going to get you noticed by the press, but that's just my recommendation. Huh? Is this like the last time you gave me advice? No, never mind, forget it. I'll see you at the race. I'll see you the races later. I won't be holding back. Olivia walks out the boutique and you turn to survey the dresses. Olivia said the press will like something runway worthy, but Bertrand wants me to wear something modern to impress the queen. Here's the dilemma. If you wear something runway worthy, you're only going to impress the press. If you wear something modern, you can impress the queen, but then you can impress the press with the answers to their questions. So we're gonna go with the modern look. Okay, the runway worthy look is a couture look, and it's bright pink with a white sash and a pink flower and a white floral. Okay, the color is already too loud for me, so that, and plus it's the runway version. The modern version is a white top and a floral dress and a black hat. Cute. Modern version, very chic. I hope the queen likes. Derby, here I come. Will you be able to survive the derby? Find out in the next chapter. Okay guys, this is the end of the chapter. I feel like Olivia could be a nice person, but she has something going on. Like something that makes her emotional, something that makes her feel threatened. I'm not really sure, but she got something going. But I feel like she could turn out to be a good person if she could let go of some of her insecurity. And Bertrand, he's gonna be a hard one to get on our side because all he sees is a waitress. He doesn't see a beautiful person with a good heart and that is willing to learn, because she is attracted and is starting to develop some feelings for the prince. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and always remember, I am thinking of you, sending my love, and bye for now.